All right, let's get it. We back with another episode of Let's Talk Detroit with the Detroit discussion. I got somebody here with me today who seems to be well respected in the culture and to put in a lot of work over the years, from music, acting, businesses, and I'm sure much more we're gonna get into behind the scenes. For the ones who might not be familiar, tell the people who you are, where you from.
It's your boy Sino, aka Big Five, man. Finger Lab, Detroit, man. Y'all know what time it is.
What's up, bro? How you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
Man, I'm good, man. Appreciate you for having me, man. How you
Yeah, that's
feeling?
good. That's good, man. It's cool, bro. You feel me? You got big stuff going on, bro. You do big everything. You got big records, big movies. You know, you got a big TV show going on.
For
You feel
sure.
me? So we gonna get into all of it, but I want to start with your personal background. You from Detroit, Finkel,
Yeah.
Finkel, yep. So that's a legendary area. What was it like growing up over there exactly?
Well, it was, pretty much. I mean, it was a rough neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with it was 10 of us brothers and sisters, man. So we all stayed in and out of each other's household. During different times of the week, or depending on what kind of money it was. You know what I'm saying? Or depending on what was going on, holidays and shit like that. So, it's just like any other neighborhood, man. Like a lot of drug dealing, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? A lot of shooting, a lot of killing and stuff like that. But you had to be, had to have tough skin, man, to survive around there, man. Mind your business, do what was right. But for the most part, I ain't gonna even lie, it was real fun back then because
Right.
you ain't had no worries as a kid. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, I didn't have no worries, man. I ain't have to worry about a hate motherfucker. I ain't have to worry about going to work. I ain't have to worry about doing nothing but being a kid, man. Going outside playing basketball, being in the fire hydrant, going to the store,
Mm-hmm.
man, taking change out of my mama purse, man, to get up on the candy bar and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was fun, man. My childhood was fun. I ain't gonna lie, dangerous, but it was fun.
Yeah, yeah. No, we can't do that no more, man.
No, we
We
can't.
barely can let the kids ride up down the street with their bikes and shit,
No,
man.
for
So,
real.
like, was your both your parents in the picture?
Yeah, most definitely. My mama, my father, my stepfather, my mama and my father, they separated when I was like one. You know what I'm saying? But I still was, going to see my father all the time. He just wasn't in the household with me, but my stepfather was though. So I actually got two fathers. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. My stepfather been with me since I'm one, and my real daddy. So
Okay,
yeah,
that's what's up.
yeah,
Sure, he stepped up.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So, what did they do for a living?
Uh, man, some of everything, man. They was the hustle man. They did whatever they could do to provide, man. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? For the household, for his household, and well for my father, for his household and me, and my stepfather for all the households he had. You know what I'm saying? As far as his kids and stuff like that. So they did a lot of different things, man, to make shit happen. I'll just say that. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah, I
did a
feel
lot of
you.
different things. You know what I'm saying?
And you said you had 10 siblings.
Yeah, 10 of us. Yeah, it's between my well, really 11 if I'm counting the one my sister on my daddy's side. But
Hmm.
I include my stepfather kids as my real brothers and sisters because we all grew up together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real. That's
Yeah,
real.
yeah,
Okay, so for those who don't know, former NBA player and Michigan basketball legend Manny Harris is your blood brother, right?
yeah. That's my baby brother. Yeah, the youngest. He the youngest of the boys.
The youngest.
Yeah, the youngest of the boys. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to run through his resume. I know this is an interview about you, but
Oh no, for
I
sure,
felt like
absolutely.
it's only right that we run through his resume as quick as possible
Got
and
to.
just give him his flowers. He went to Redford High School,
Yeah,
selected to Class A All State 3 times,
yeah,
named Mr. Basketball of Michigan in 2007,
yeah,
led his team to Class A championship, became the first player to start for 3 consecutive Detroit Public School League championship teams
yeah,
since Jalen Rose. He once had a game with 52 points and 15 rebounds.
yeah,
He averaged 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists in his senior season. Ranked number 7 by ESPN, received offers from Tennessee, UCLA, Wisconsin, George Washington, and Indiana before committing to the home team, University of Michigan.
yeah,
He
yeah,
went on to have an impressive college career at U of M, playing 3 seasons, averaging 17 points, 5.7 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 1.5 steals, shooting nearly 83% from the free throw, and started 97 of his 98 games played.
facts.
After his junior year, he decided to declare to the 2010 NBA draft, where he went undrafted partially because of his hamstring injury
Mm-hmm.
that affected his draft workouts and stock. But he ended up inking a deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers. After that, he spent some time in the D League overseas in Ukraine,
Yeah,
the Lakers in 2014, Dallas Mavericks in 2017, and everything since then has pretty much been overseas.
yeah.
You know, and it's just a quick rundown for
Yeah,
real.
yeah, yeah.
So
No, it's a
where
long
you playing
list.
at now in
It's a
China?
long list. No, Taiwan. Taiwan.
Taiwan?
Yeah, Taiwan right now. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
how you doing?
He doing good, man. You know, putting up buckets, man. Still moving like he 20-something years old, man. Staying healthy and, doing what he got to do to provide.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, I remember hearing about him through like Band Gang songs. They
Yeah,
had a
they
song,
song.
Many Hears, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they had a
Yeah,
song.
so I
Yeah,
remember that. And after that, you know, I didn't know y'all was related. So when I got to looking into it, I'm like, man, that's crazy. But I
yeah,
think I peeped a little while ago, y'all taking pictures together
yeah,
and all of that. Yeah. So
yeah,
y'all got the same mama, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out to Band Gang too, man. Them the homies too. Shout out to the
yeah.
Band
Shout
Gang.
out to Bang Gang,
Yeah.
man. Okay, so talk to me about, you know, having a younger brother with such a hell of a story and what it's been like watching him along his journey.
Um, well, it was just incredible, man, because he came from the crates. You feel what I'm saying? Hooping in the streets, the crates, going to rec leagues, man, and hooping with the older people. And he was impressive, man. As a kid, he was just real impressive, man. And he was like ahead of his time. You feel what I'm saying? He had heart. Most of these kids don't got heart right now. You know what I'm saying? He had heart, and
Right.
heart is what gets you through. You can have skill all you want though, but if you ain't got that heart, then you know what I'm saying? It don't mean nothing. But it was like, man, he was like for real, for real. He was like the LeBron, how LeBron was to Akron.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he was to Michigan. You feel what I'm
Yeah, for
saying?
sure, for sure. That's why I
Yeah,
wanted to touch bases on it.
yeah,
And you know, when you was talking about him having heart, I did look at his stats and everything, and I noticed like in his junior year, I mean, he was doing his thing,
yeah.
sophomore year, you know, high
Hmm.
school and all of that, freshman year, but in his third year, his junior year, I noticed he averaged the all-time high with his assists of like 1.8, and you know, almost
Yeah,
two steals a game.
yeah,
So, like, man, you know, and uh rebounding, you know, hell of a rebounder and everything like that. So,
yeah,
shout out to Manny, man.
yeah.
You know,
Shout out
let's
to bro for real.
yeah, let's get
Yeah.
the focus back on you though. So what school did you attend growing up?
Well, I went to J.R. King Middle School. That's when it was on Grove and 6 Mile.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to Guest Middle School. It was on Finkel and Myers. I got kicked out of there because I took a knife to school, man. We had a little classroom beef, man. I took a knife to school. I called myself was gonna stab one of the dudes in the bathroom, and I ended up getting told on, so they kicked me out of there. And I went to Cerveny on Puritan, and I was over there, man. Shout out to the PAs, man. I went over there to Cerveny, and then after I left Cerveny, I went to Cooley, Cooley High School for my ninth grade year. My mom was like, "Nah, boy, you ain't going to class. You over there with all your friends." So she sent me to an all boys school, which was right around the corner from where I grew up, 2 blocks over from my house. And
Mm-hmm.
she sent me to an all boys school called Loyola. And I barely graduated that motherfucker, but I got out of there though. But it was kind of crazy because all my homeboys were still coming up to the school, robbing all the kids. I'll tell you, robbing all the kids. So everybody used to blame everything on me and stuff like that, man. But it was kind of a gift and a curse, for real, for
Mm-hmm.
real. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad kind of my mama sent me there because I never know what would have happened if I would have stayed at Cooley. You feel what I'm saying? I probably would have
Right.
gotten to so much different kind of stuff though. So I'm kind of glad she did take me out of there because I don't know where I would have been. But for the most part, it was a learning experience though. But I hate going to an all boys school though. It was terrible.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
man.
terrible. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, getting that experience and getting out your habitat, your
For
normal
sure.
habitat, and everything, it got to be good for you. A lot of people. That's one thing I kind of push with my blog. You know, about just getting out, experiencing things
No, for real.
and all that. I said this in my first interview. You know, a lot of us they ain't even got their passport. They ain't been out the country or
Nah,
nothing like
nah,
that. You
nah.
know,
You
they
got
still think east and the west side is far apart and
nah.
everything like that. So you once you get out there, you start doing stuff, man. You know, it changes you. You
It
like,
changes.
man, shit, I got a lot to live for.
Yeah,
Got a lot of stuff I ain't seen yet. You know, shoot, let me turn it around.
yeah. You start loving it, man. Once you get out of your natural habitat and see what's going on, it's a world out here.
Yeah. All right, so I want to get into your musical history. At what point did you get introduced into music?
Um, I had to say around like when I was maybe 14. Me and my cousin Pep. Me and my cousin Pep, we used to be on the back. He had a back patio at his crib. So back then we had the karaoke's, and I don't know if you remember when you put the tissue in the tape. So we used to record ourselves to like 112, Lil Zane, Cash Money,
Mm.
like Bad Boy and stuff. We just used to record over their beats and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So me and him had a little group called Wicked Ways, and we used to be back there, man, on the patio getting busy, dog. It was like at that time it was like something that I was like had in my head that I thought I was gonna be a big superstar at that time because I
Yeah.
thought it was easy to obtain because of what I was seeing from Cash Money, No Limit,
Mm-hmm.
Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it was a dream. It was fun. You know what I'm saying? So I fell in love with that back in that era. You know what I'm saying?
How many members was in the group?
It was just me and him at the time. Me, Pep, a dude named Mark, and a dude named Dre and Maurice. Dre and
Mm.
Maurice, yeah. Wicked Ways. Yeah, Wicked
So
Ways.
like, what happened with y'all? Like, why y'all
I
didn't?
mean, it just, once we got older, everybody got to high school, man. Everybody just got on different stuff. Like,
Yeah.
these people took this route. Some people took that route. I took this route. My cousin ended up going to college. You know what I'm saying? I had
Mm-hmm.
ended up getting a job. I was trying to get to the money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody just did different stuff. But we still, linked up, did music and stuff like that. But, everybody just grew up and went their separate ways.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
First song I ever wrote. I just remember it was something pertaining, sounding like Bone Thugs and Harmony because I was in love with Bone Thugs and Harmony at the time. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the exact words. My cousin had to put it in my head, and then it click, and I remember it though. But if I hear it, yeah, I can remember it word for word though. But I just can't. I got so much on my mind, I just can't think
Mm-hmm.
of how the melody go. But yeah, if he put it in my head, then I can figure out how the song actually went though.
Okay. So at what point did you start getting serious about it?
Oh, when my homeboy Six took us to a real studio for the first time. We wrote our first record. My homeboy Dion, he do tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and at the time he had a clothing line called Supernamorty, and he wanted us to do a track to pertaining to his clothing line. It ended up not being pertaining to the clothing line, but we ended up rapping on one of his beats. And I went to the studio for the first time. And then once I got on the mic for the first time, I really realized like, damn, this shit fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is
Mm-hmm.
something I would love to do. Then I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just try this shit one time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I quit my job. I remember my mama talking shit because I quit my job and told her I was doing music and shit, but she ended up supporting the shit though. My mama was real supportive.
Yeah.
She ended up supporting it, but she wasn't trying to hear it at first. Like any mom
Yeah.
ain't trying to hear, like, nigga, you about to do this and ain't making no money, nigga, quit your job. Like,
Yeah. You had
but
to make her a believer.
yeah, so I had to make her believer, but we actually did, start, making a little sting for ourselves, you know what I'm saying, doing little shows, getting booked and stuff, going on different little tours, opening up for people and stuff. So it kind of heated up a little bit.
I don't sound little, bro.
No, I mean, I always downplay stuff people
Yeah.
say, but
Nah.
you know what I'm saying. But no, we
I've
did
been
like,
taking that out of my vocabulary, so I try
yeah.
to
I got I,
like
I got to
soft
stop.
check people when they say that,
Yeah,
man. Like
yeah, you're right.
ain't
I got
shit
to
little
stop.
though, bro.
Yeah, I got to stop downplaying it though. But we
Yeah.
did we did a lot of stuff. We opened up 50 Cent Fat Joe one time.
Yeah. Pop it then.
Slim Thug, man, we was down in Miami popping our shit. You know what I'm saying? That's when I really turned my hustle up too, when I learned that music, man, take a lot of money.
Yeah,
Like,
for
and not
sure.
even just spending money on radio and this and that. Like, you got to travel,
Yeah.
you got to dress, you got to buy liquor, you got to, you know what I'm saying, mingle with the chicks, and it's a lot of stuff that you got to do, man. You got to have
Yeah.
money. That's when I had to turn my hustle up, like, because at the end of the day, boy, if you ain't got that cheese, man, to do what you need to do, boy, it's gonna be bad for you.
Gonna be bad,
Yeah, it's
man.
gonna be
It
bad.
ain't just about going to the studio and
Nah,
putting out a record,
that's the
man. It's
that's the
more
easy
to
shit.
it. Yeah.
That's
I be
easy.
trying to preach that to them, but they don't want to get it,
That's
man.
easy, man. That's the easy part right there.
They gonna be what they gonna be. So, if you had any, what was your musical influences?
Um, Jigga, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Juvenile. I was a Lil Wayne fan, but mostly Jay Z, man. Like Hove, man. Like the era that he grew up in. Even I'm gonna even go with Jeezy too. Like I just like the hustle they had, like how Rockefeller, CTE. I'm gonna even put the BMF thing in there because everybody really know Jeezy from BMF. You know what I'm saying? But the
Uh,
the hustle they had, going out with the t-shirts in the club, supporting each other. Everybody know the record. Everybody on stage doing their thing. Like I just love that aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? So that was like a real motivation to me. You feel what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, I can feel that,
Yeah.
man. So, when you was first starting, what was your process like? Were you writing, freestyling?
No, I never. You know what's so crazy? No,
Mm,
I never. I ain't gonna even sit here and cap like I was just going in that booth going crazy. No, I had to write my shit down when I was first doing that shit. I had to write it down because my thought process was I only could drive around and think of my shit and write it down. You feel what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? So that was the only way I could do it. So I used to ride around my homeboy Picasso. He used to be selling rocks. We used to be going through the hood selling rocks to fiends, and I used to be writing my shit down, and he'd be like, "Dog, you should say it like this. Switch this line, whoopty whoop, blah blah split." And then I learned that writing was a good process for me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I did eventually start doing it that way, not freestyling, but going in there going bar for bar and shit like that though. But I seen that first through my homeboy Cash Out, shout out to whom, that he was the first person, him, Mac Nichols, like was the first people I seen like do that. Like go in there and just go bar for bar and shit. And then when I found out, I was like, damn, that shit kind of worked. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I like it better.
Yeah, y'all sound like y'all was multitasking,
Man,
hustling,
oh my
writing
God.
raps. You
Oh
feel me?
man,
Y'all wasn't just trying to
everything.
be stuck in the hood though.
Nah,
So
man,
I
everything.
respect it though,
For
man.
sure.
So after you released your first track, like what was your expectations for it? Did you have high expectations or?
My first real track I released was Who Get It. That was with me and my homeboy Hydro. And
Yeah,
at that time I was going out to the clubs a lot. I was rapping, but I was taking it serious, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm about to go out here to specifically be on some rap shit. I was going out there to party and rap came second.
right.
And it just so happened it went together when I found out, like, hold on, we going out to this bitch 50D, we got t-shirts on, we got bottles, we mad clubs, like, oh, okay. Let me use this shit to now I'm conscious of it. Like, let me use this shit to start making this rap shit pop. So we
Right.
started getting booked at Eastern Michigan, Michigan State, Fake the Funks, and all these different kind of colleges around Michigan and all that shit. And
Mm-hmm.
that shit started popping, man. Like my first record that I ever dropped, like for real, that bitch was going up. That bitch still a classic to this day. Who Get It? It was produced by my homeboy Symphony too. Shout out to Symphony.
Okay. And what kind of feedback did you receive about it?
Man, listen. When I tell you, like every college party we used to do, like a Plan B, Envy, Tiki Bob's and Pontiac, all that kind of stuff up in Lansing and Ypsilanti and stuff, man. When I tell you we had that motherfucker rocking like we was national artists, man, when we was doing that shit. Like niggas knew that shit word for word. I'm talking about
Yeah.
every time we played that shit. If they just hear it on, because it started with like a money counter going in the beginning of the song. As soon as they hear that shit going on, it go crazy. I'm talking about shirts, so niggas take shirts off, niggas throwing money, girls doing whatever we want them to do, all that stuff. Like we was having our way. I ain't gonna lie.
All right. So yeah, them college parties, they'll get you out there, man. A lot
No,
of
the
people
college,
don't know that. But them college kids, man, they love music. They
man,
in
they
their
love it.
dorm,
They love it.
whatever they doing, they got music
They love
involved.
it.
You study, you got music. You mess with girls, you got music. You out, you got music. That's
Absolutely.
all they got to do for real. So that's a real big market.
Absolutely.
And if they on campus, y'all throwing a show there.
Yep.
They ain't really got no choice but to go there.
No, for real.
You ain't
For
got
real.
nothing else going on unless you gonna sit in your dorm and just be lame or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
all right, so I'm gonna need a little help, man.
Okay.
Because the timeline was all off. But your first project, Street Certified,
Yeah,
right?
that was my very first project.
And
Street
what year was
certified.
that?
Street certified had to be. Let me see. My homeboy was still living. Street certified had to be 2008 or 9, 10ish, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it had to be something like that. 8, 9, 10ish. Don't get me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't quote me on that, but it was somewhere along that timeline though. You know what I'm saying? It was early on. That was early on in my career. That was my first CD ever dropped, so that was early on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And on your first project, you had Gucci Man, K Deezy,
yeah,
Trick, Stretch Money, Lodge Boys, Cash Out,
yeah,
Eleva, and a few more. That's
yeah.
impressive for a first
First CD.
project. If you can tell me a story about how you met everybody and what process putting that tape, together was like.
Well, it was crazy. Like far as Helliver, you know what I'm saying? Helliver, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His brother got a baby by my sister.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Helly, my brother for real. You know what I'm saying? And I think one day I found a CD. Don't ask me how the hell I found a CD. This one CD was going back. People were stealing CDs, and somehow a CD got in my car, right,
Mm-hmm.
with some beats from Helliver on it. It's crazy. I popped that motherfucker in. I hear Helliver made this beat. I'm like, what in the fuck? So I end up liking the beat. So I end up having somebody get in touch with Helliver. The nigga like Helliver like shit. I've been trying to get in touch with you. You know what I'm saying? Wooty whoop.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, shit, this is beat I want, man. Just tell me how much you know what I'm saying, I owe you for it. I was like, you don't owe me shit. That's your beat. Do what you want to do with that motherfucker, man. You got my blessing, whatever, everybody speak. Ever since then, me and Hella was doing business, buying beats like a motherfucker. I don't give a fuck what it was. Give me a beat. He go this, send me a beat, send me a beat, send me a beat.
Yeah.
And then that's how me and him got cool. As far as KDZ and Cash Out, they was like definitely one of the first people that gave me verses without me even having to pay anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I was at that time I was hot as hell in the streets with the music and shit. So
Mm-hmm.
it was fucking with me. And mind you, I wasn't doing no music. I was like in the streets anyway. You know what I'm saying? So niggas, you know what I'm saying? Niggas knew of me anyway, and I was just a solid nigga. You know what I'm saying? So niggas was like, "Fuck it, whatever you need from me, we gonna do it." You know what I'm saying? And that's how that happened. Trick, same thing. You know what I'm saying? I was going to his club. He had Plan B at the time. I was coming to that motherfucker. I was a regular customer at that bitch, and
Mm-hmm.
we ended up just getting cool as hell. And
Not to cut
anything
you
I
off, but
had
what's
needed from
Plan
him.
B though?
Plan B is okay. So you know where what's the name of the damn club right now? It's called Trust now.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah, it's
about.
called Trust where they do the Sunday shit at.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's the old Plan B. But next to it across the behind it, and the what's the name was Club Envy. Old the boss had owned that and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That was another club, but in the basement of Plan B, it was another club. Like them was all the clubs back then, back in my era, that was just banging like downtown at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I just was cool with all the owners, everybody that ran that bitch, and all the rap niggas that was hot at the time. You know what I'm saying? Lodge Boys, Made West. You know what I'm saying? All them niggas. Like it
So
was
that's how
just
you kind of met everybody
yeah,
for real,
it
for
was just
real.
one call. Like, hey, I need you on my shit. Hell yeah, come on, niggas pop up to the studio. We do shit, and it be that. It wasn't no money involved. It wasn't no gay ass politic and shit. It wasn't no
Mm-hmm.
goofy ass shit. Niggas was, you know what I'm saying? It was some real nigga shit going on. You know what I'm saying?
All right, but Gucci man, he not from the city, so like that's big. Like you would
Yeah,
say he was in his prime.
yeah.
How did that happen?
Um, well, Big Von at the time was my homeboy Symphony manager, and Symphony was producing for me at the time. So when I heard he was coming to the city, my brothers and them like, man, you need to get Gucci on your shit. And at the time, I wasn't no Gucci fan. I knew a lot of his songs and was like
Mm-hmm.
fucking with him, but it wasn't like, damn, I want to get a song with Gucci. You feel what I'm saying? So I told Von like, what's up? When you think you get Gucci here? He was like, yeah. Next thing I know, the nigga Gucci knocking at the like we just sitting here, boom, 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 boom. Open the door, you open the door, nigga Gucci walking in with his security and my man Von and shit. And I asked him how much he wanted for a verse. He told me at the time. Now this sounds cheap. Well, how much you think he charged me for that verse at that time?
Shoot, probably 1,000, 1,200,
It was
something like that.
3,500. But you got to remember,
35.
he was hot though. This nigga had. I'm trying to think the song he had out
But
there, but
back then, shoot, like 1,200, 1,500 is like 35. You
it's like
feel?
yeah. But
Yeah.
that nigga Gucci was on fucking fire. But anyway, he charged me 3,500 for that motherfucker. I remember him coming in, his security checking the back door and everything, and trying to make sure nobody wasn't in that bitch. He
Yeah.
had a red mink on shades. It wasn't even no Instagram or shit at this time, so I ain't got no kind of footage from this shit. You feel what I'm saying? I just
Uh,
remember everything vividly in my head and shit. And I remember he came in that bitch, he heard the beat, he was fucking with the beat, and that nigga went in that bitch, man, and freestyled that whole motherfucker. I ain't gonna even
yeah.
lie. Freestyled that whole bitch. Yep.
That's legendary,
Yep.
bro.
Freestyled that whole
Gucci, man,
bitch.
that's crazy.
Yep.
All right, so Street Certified 2, that was your second project, right?
Yep. Yep. Street Certified 2
All
was
right,
my second
so
project. Yep.
features on there, you got 3D, Street Lord Wine, Tone
Yep.
Tone, G Rock, Most Wanted, some of the same names from Street Certified 1 and
Yep.
a few more. It was also hosted by DJ BJ. What would you say something you learned from part 1 that you applied and took to part 2?
Just to go harder, make better records and shit,
Uh-huh.
and really just take my time as far as making timeless music. You know what I'm saying? Something that people gonna like later on down the line. You feel me?
Making records.
Yeah, making records. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's crazy. I met Juan through Floss. You know what I'm saying? I remember at the time, and I was so happy. He had so far grown up. I was so motherfucking happy, dog. I got that motherfucking verse from Juan, dog. We said when I first met that nigga, we sat down and talked for like 2 or 3 hours before he even got in the booth and did the verse. And that nigga went in that bitch. And when I tell you he didn't write nothing down, he didn't do nothing. He sat there and listened to that motherfucker. He never had the beat. When I went there, he listened to the motherfucker when I got there. After we talked for 3 hours, he sat there, listened to that beat. I swear to God, for like maybe 20 minutes, dog. 20
Mm-hmm.
minutes, and that nigga went straight in that motherfucking studio and freestyled that whole motherfucking verse.
Yeah, Juan, a legend, man. To
No,
have something
super
like that
legend.
early on in your career,
A super
that was
legend.
some kind of like a stamp or something, would you
No,
say?
facts. Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Niggas seen Wine on that bitch, and niggas know Wine ain't just doing no songs with niggas. Even now,
Right.
he He ain't even on that type of time.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and Tone, somebody who done had success on the street level in the industry and still dropping songs that get people excited today. How did that happen?
Um, Tone Tone. I used to see Tone Tone in the club. He used to be around the club performing with us because around this time it was me, Tone Tone, Big Shine, Big Shan,
Mm,
um, who else? Pistol Atkins. It was a lot of people around there. So I was like just amongst all my peers. You know what I'm saying? And Tone Tone really was the one like at that time up here. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
But like I say, like everybody respected the nigga. So it was just like a call, nigga. Like, what's up, nigga? I need you on this, whoopty whoop. And Tone was with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He ain't had no issue. I think that album he did 2 beats for me. And I think he did 2 beats for me and 2 verses on
So
that
he was
CD.
producing
He
too
was
back
producing,
then.
yeah, hell yeah, yeah. Toto was
Wow.
producing. He was cutting up. A lot of that shit he was producing for himself
Yeah.
outside the shit Jazzy Faye was doing. That nigga
Dang.
Toto cold with that shit, with that producer shit.
Yeah, I remember him kind of telling the story about like how he really was getting it going back like in the
Yeah,
'90s for real, before
man.
like Eminem came
Yeah, nah, for
for
real.
real. So I was like,
Yeah.
man, I ain't know that, but that's dope.
And shout out to Toto too, man, because that's one nigga that ain't never fucking stopped with that shit, dog. That nigga
Yeah,
kept that shit going. That nigga had a lot of deals, man, a lot of big records, and that nigga ain't never stopped with that shit, man. Shout out to Toto.
yeah. Shout out to Tom Tom. And 2012, I believe, the best kept secret,
Yeah,
your project,
yeah.
and on your third project. What was the reason behind you naming it that? Did you feel like you wasn't getting the recognition for the work you put in up until that point?
Yeah, I felt like when I started doing music, like I already had money. I had jewelry, the cars, I had everything. I had women. I
Mm,
was having my way. So I don't know. I felt like that shit was kind of getting in the way of niggas supporting that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they felt
yeah,
like, damn, what we got to support this nigga for? This nigga already got money.
right.
You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes that'll get in the way of a nigga supporting sometimes. You feel what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's why I named it that. And at that time, I think Best Kept Secret was one of the biggest marketing campaigns I had. At this time, Chanel Dominique was my manager, which is Bez manager right now.
Yeah, I was gonna get into that
Yeah,
too.
and we had a hell of a run with that CD, dog, and we made a motherfucking stamp with that CD. I ain't gonna even lie. That CD right there made a big motherfucking statement right there. And there was some bangers on that bitch too. And hell of a produced the whole Best Kept Secret too. He produced the whole Best Kept Secret.
Yeah, you and Helly, I noticed that y'all was locked in heavy, like you
Yeah,
said.
yeah, yeah.
Y'all was locked in
Yeah.
pretty heavy, man.
Yeah,
Had
and
like
that's
a
when he
little
had the
joint.
studio on Michigan too, man. So it was a different kind of vibe in that motherfucker, man. You
I
would
done
run.
heard about that a couple
Oh
times, like people in
man,
reference
dog.
to it.
Man, listen, man. That studio over there on Michigan, dog, up them stairs, bro. The vibe of that motherfucker, you just never know who you might run into in that bitch. And when you go to that motherfucker, you might fuck around and run into a nigga. Y'all might have a whole CD tucked. I got so much music, bro. It's crazy. Like from then. Not even the
Mm,
music I done made recently, but then I got so much music with goddamn everybody, bro. Like it ain't one person you can name that I probably don't got a song with.
yeah, I definitely done heard stories about that
Yeah.
studio, man. So on the same project, you ended up having what most would consider your first buzzing single, "Slipping,"
Slapping, yeah.
slapping. My
Yeah,
bad,
slapping,
my
yeah.
bad.
No, you good,
Yeah, how
slapping.
did that song come together, and how did it feel to finally have a record that that hit?
Well, I'm gonna tell you how that song came about. I'm gonna tell you how that song came about. I'm gonna tell niggas the secret. What happened with that song? So, Future had a song out called Tony Montana.
Yeah, I
You
remember.
remember that, right? So if you listen to Slapping, um, it got that same vibe.
I do hear it now.
Yeah. So when I went in the studio, I remember this shit. I remember this shit so vividly. And this when I knew like sometime I can't have people in the studio with me when I do my song process because niggas will throw you off and fuck you up.
Yeah.
I told Helly like I want something like this, just like this. Ironically, no bullshit. Ironically, this nigga had a beat already with this same motherfucking bass line shit like that. So he ended up finishing it right.
Mm-hmm.
Going that motherfucking recorder. I'm talking about when I tell you I'm geeked about this record, nigga. This shit so hard. I walk out the booth, my brothers and them say, "Oh, nigga, everybody in the studio, not just my brothers. Some other niggas was in that bitch. They was like, I don't know, bro. I don't even think that's you. Like, I don't know, right? So I'm like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. I leave, say fuck the song. Hell of a end up mixing the motherfucker, putting drops in that bitch, all that bitch, and resent it to me. One day I remember that I was in the hood. I had a Magnum and shit. I had crazy sounds in that bitch, high tweeters, all that shit. And I remember pulling up, banging that bitch. Every nigga at the same time said, "What the fuck is that?"
Mm-hmm.
I said, "This the same song I recorded while all y'all was in the studio." They was like, "No, it can't be." I was like, "This it." When I tell you, nigga, that bitch took off. I'm about talking about took off everywhere. Like I had niggas wanting to do the remix to this bitch. Like different industry niggas wanted to
Mm-hmm.
do remixes to this shit and all this different kind of shit. But I never got around to the shit because personal shit happened in the streets, whatever, whatever. But I never got around to that shit. But that bitch right there took the fuck off, dog. I'm talking about that bitch was everywhere. That bitch had Atlanta going. That bitch had Kentucky going, Tennessee, all through the Midwest. That bitch was going crazy.
Yeah, that was the first time I heard about you. I wasn't familiar with your face, but
Yeah,
like the first time I heard your music, I
yeah,
didn't even know it was you, like
yeah,
Sino.
yeah,
I didn't even know it was you. I just
yeah.
remember hearing that record. It was buzzing around here.
And I don't think like at that time like I had to end up doing a video tour, but I don't think at that time like the only time niggas would see me was if I was in the club because I wasn't really doing videos and shit. Videos
Mm-hmm.
wasn't popular as they was now.
Yeah,
You feel what I'm saying? So I don't think like niggas really was putting that with my face unless they knew it. And like even when it was on the radio, niggas thought it was like an industry nigga until they found out like what the fuck when I started doing interviews like yeah woo 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 woo. And it was like damn nigga that bitch right there crazy.
yeah.
Yep.
So you was excited about it, but did you honestly know it was gonna be as big as it was?
Absolutely not.
You didn't.
No, no.
Yeah,
It
you
ain't, it
can't
ain't a
really.
lot of it ain't a lot of records that I knew. I knew a few records that was gonna be that, but that ain't one of them I thought was gonna be that. I just knew I liked the Tony Montana record and I want to rap on something like that, and that's what it ended up being.
Yeah. How did it change your outlook on the whole music stuff?
Um, like this shit was just like it was obtainable, like it could happen. You feel what I'm saying? I remember going down to remember going down to Patchworks, mix and mastering it and shit. And I remember like a lot of different Atlanta rappers was in that bitch, and every time they passed by, nigga hear that bitch and would be like, damn, I fuck with that whoop whoop. And like it was like niggas was genuinely fucking with that bitch without money, without me having to ask a nigga or talk to a nigga, make a nigga fuck with it. Niggas was just fucking with that bitch genuinely. So I just knew like this shit was obtainable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll definitely change your whole outlook once you
Nah, for
get one of
real.
them ones that everybody talking about.
Facts.
Okay, and some new features on here that stick out to me are payroll
Hmm.
and Peasy. First, I want to talk about your relationship with payroll.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I said, I wasn't when I heard the Slapping record,
Hmm.
I didn't know who you was. I couldn't put a face to it, a name to it at all.
Right.
But I remember seeing payroll, rocking with you kind of heavy. He put me
Yeah.
on to you. So uh talk to me, about your relationship, how that is.
Okay, well Pay younger than me and Pay we both from Finkel, but he down by Cooley, you know what I'm saying? And I'm down towards Wyoming and shit. But Pay I always respected Pay, man, because one thing about Pay, he always was doing this music shit, getting to the money, man, and staying out the way. Like I
Mm-hmm.
felt that was something that I always did. You know what I'm saying? I go out party, have fun, do all that shit, but I'm trying to get to the money. I ain't got time for none of that other shit, no beef or shit, and all the stupid shit. And I always respected that about Pay. And that nigga always like made music for the bosses, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Motivational shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit that niggas can respect. And I got bad respect for Pay, dog. Like Pay a
yeah. I
good
like, I
nigga.
like, I like Pay a
Yeah,
lot,
Pay a
man.
good nigga, man. I call Pay for anything, dog, and he gonna come fuck with me, dog. It ain't never been a time I called Pay for anything and that nigga ain't came through. So I got mad love and respect for Pay, dog. Shout
Yeah.
out to my nigga for real.
Did you know he would go on to be as big as he is today?
I knew he had the potential to do that shit, man, because he was just a good nigga. Like good niggas, you
Mm-hmm.
gonna win. Like he just
Yeah,
he just naturally a good, genuine nigga. You feel what I'm saying? And I just knew like he was gonna be something because he just had it. He just like a mentality and like a stigma he had, dog. Just boss mentality. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. All right, and Peasy at that time, ENT Mesa had already made a name for themselves in the Midwest, but they were still coming up. How did the relationship with y'all come about, and what it was like working with him that early on in his career?
My first record was with Peasy and T Dot. I called Hella and told him like I want Peasy, dog. That nigga hot. He was like, I called Peasy, you know what I'm saying? He ended up telling me a price, but after he got to the studio, we met each other and we did the record. He ain't asked for no money. He ain't want the money.
He was feeling it like
He
that.
was feeling it, and you know what I'm saying. He was just, I guess, you know what I'm saying. Niggas was, I was just a genuine nigga, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he didn't even want the money, you know what I'm saying. And I respected that. Like I fucked with that, and ever since then, me and Peasy had a good relationship. Anytime I see Peasy, you know what I'm saying, it's love. Like I don't give a fuck if I don't see Peasy for 2 years. If I
Mm-hmm.
see that nigga, it's love. Like anything, like whatever I need.
So how did it make you feel, watching him achieve all the success and bloom into the rising star he is in the music industry today?
He deserved it. I feel that he deserved it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Him, Team Eastside, like Ray, GT, you know what I'm saying, Vez, all them niggas like
Yeah.
worked hard, man. I watched them niggas grind, man. Them niggas deserve it. Studio rats. Like doing whatever it take, man, to make that shit happen, man. So I really respect it. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
love it. I love to see it. I ain't gonna lie. I
Yeah.
love everything
Everybody
about it.
on, man.
I love everything
They
about it.
whole camp, man, they stayed down.
You stay down till they came up.
Yeah, yeah, and it's paying off, man. And they really like new artists to the world
Nah,
right now.
for real. And them niggas, they holding it down. They holding it down for the city and the east side. I ain't gonna lie, for real.
Okay, so on your next project, 5 Mile, you got a feature on like every single track. Like,
Yeah,
why is that? Walk me through the process of like making it.
because it was originally supposed to be a compilation.
Uh huh.
You feel what I'm saying? So the reason I named it 5 Mile because I wanted niggas to know like me being from the hood I'm from, I had connections to every hood. You feel what I'm saying? To every hood. Like it ain't no east or west shit. It ain't nothing like nigga. We all one Detroit. So that was my way of bringing everybody together and letting them know like nigga, we here
Early on
early
too.
on. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think I never even really mentioned that and said that's what it was, but it was supposed to be a compilation.
Right.
And then I just ended up naming it 5 Mile because I brought so many niggas from different hoods together. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, that CD, I ain't gonna say I had fell off like money wise, but my shit was low right then, and I felt like that shit brought the best out of me on that CD.
You was hungry.
I was hungry, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't got no tell your
I ain't
back
had no
against the
choice,
wall.
and I felt like 5 Mile was one of my funnest CDs to make. You know what I'm saying? It's actually one of my favorites too out of all of them. 5 Mile, one of my favorites. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie, I love that bitch there.
And on here you collab with Vezo
Mm-hmm.
for one of the first times. Much like the others we talked about, he really taking off too. Are y'all still in contact today?
Yeah, hell yeah. I just I talked to Vez probably not too long ago because he about to be in the series we doing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He about to be in the series we doing. So me and Vez kicked it and shit. And, me and Chanel's son play on the same basketball team, so I'm
Mm.
in contact with them all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I actually was worked with Vez before 5 Mile though because I was on his CD.
One of the first clarities or something like
Did
that.
Dope House, yeah. What the
Mm-hmm.
Beats did the shit, yeah. So I did that, and I met Vez through Chanel one day. When B Allen was out, and I met all them and shit, and it was something about them niggas. Like I just was like, yeah, them niggas got it. Them niggas want it. Like everybody was in support of Vez and what he was doing, and I felt that was some big shit.
Yeah, how proud are you, to see him doing this thing, taking over the rap game? His sound going crazy right now.
Yeah,
I think it's the Flint
yeah,
sound.
yeah,
Then you got what they call the Detroit sound right now. You got Vezo sound.
yeah.
That's really what's ringing
No,
off.
Vez got his own sound for real.
Yeah, for sure. He really, how
Vez got
proud
his
of
own
you is
sound.
it seeing
Man,
him do his thing, man?
I'm proud of Vez, man, because that's another person I seen grind, man, and stay hungry and wanted that shit. And actually, his sound, like niggas is imitating Vez sound right now. You
Yeah,
feel what
for
I'm saying?
sure.
Niggas in the industry imitate Vez sound. I'm gonna be the one to say it, and he say it all the time. Niggas is imitating Vez sound. They just
Yeah,
is all over this motherfucker, all over different states and shit. Niggas is imitating Vez sound. But Vez got that bitch down packed, man. Can't nobody do it like that boy, man. But I'm definitely proud of him, man, because he
yeah,
doing this thing. He worked hard. He grinded for that shit, man. And I fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother.
yeah. The imitation and everything. That's the price you pay for being
Oh, for
great.
sure. For sure.
So yeah, yeah. But shout out to everybody though.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
that's pushing the culture forward. That stuff help us too.
Hell
They
yeah.
gonna say, oh, that's Detroit.
Hell
That's
yeah.
Detroit. So it ain't gonna do nothing but make us bigger.
Facts.
But can we expect any more collabs with y'all in the future?
Yeah, hell yeah. Yup. Yeah, we gonna definitely do that. I'm actually working on 5 Mile the sequel. You know what I'm saying? I ain't I got our records together and shit. I'm gonna start reaching out to everybody after I finish filming like the end of June or something like that though. But I'm actually working on 5 Mile too. You know what
That'd
I'm
be
saying?
dope, like
Yeah,
especially in 2023 with everybody
yeah.
with the whole scene
Everybody doing
where
their
it's at
thing.
right. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. That'd
everybody
be
do their
real
thing.
dope, man.
Yeah, so we definitely gonna do that for sure. And I want to work with some of the Flint artists and stuff, and and a lot of the upcoming artists, man, because there's a lot of dope motherfuckers here,
Yeah.
man. Like rapping and singing, producing, all that. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people don't really give Flint their credit, man. I feel
Man,
like when Flint popped off, it really
yeah,
pushed our whole movement to that
mm-hmm.
next level, because they gave us the party side.
Yeah,
And it kind of stemmed from they sound kind of stemmed from our sound too.
yeah,
Plus with Rio, being under
yeah,
Peasy and everything, being with Peasy,
yeah,
I ain't
yeah,
say under,
yeah,
being with Peasy and everything.
yeah,
Louis Ray being
yeah.
his
Louis
brother,
Ray, yeah,
YNJ
YJ,
Randolph,
yeah,
RMC Mike
yeah,
with Peasy too, man.
uh,
So I
Crispy
feel like,
Kid, all them.
yeah, I feel like that really played a big part in where we at today
Michigan really just going crazy right now.
as a whole.
Inkster got a bunch of hot artists. I ain't gonna even lie. Inkster got a bunch of hot artists. Like I'm really like tapping into and finding out like Inkster doing their motherfucking thing too. I ain't gonna even
Yeah,
lie. Like niggas
yeah,
is doing,
downriver
yeah,
shoe period. Yeah,
yeah.
they coming for sure.
Niggas doing their motherfucking thing, flat out.
Yeah, and you kind of tapped in on it earlier about Chanel.
Uh-huh.
She I swear Vezo manager right now, but
Right.
at one point in time, she was your first manager.
Yeah, she was my first manager. I remember Twitter was popping at that time, and I had tweeted out I had needed a manager. My homeboy Big D, who was a party promoter at the time, he sent her my way, and I kicked her with her like, look, this what we need, this what I need, whoopty whoop. And she took the challenge, man, took that shit head on. And Chanel was a hell of a manager. You know what I'm saying? She was a hell of a manager, a great person, and we got a lot of shit accomplished in the music. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that shit accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to her, man. I appreciate her a lot for the things she did, and yeah, man, like that was a great run, man. Me and Chanel
Yeah,
had a
she
great run.
man, a lot of people don't know about the people who be behind the scenes
Yeah.
pushing it, helping make stuff happen, man. They just think it's the artists, and a lot of them go
Nah,
toward them.
hell
But
no,
man,
hell
you gotta
no,
have people picking up them calls, responding to them text messages, and them emails, and scheduling them
man.
appointments, and making
Listen,
sure you here, and the business get done,
man,
man. So
Chanel for the culture, man. She be pushing the culture forward, man. She be behind the scenes, speaking up for everybody, man, and making it happen for the city, dog. Like they got a weekend coming up, 313 weekend, and
yeah,
it's
three
gonna
one three
be,
day.
yeah, it's gonna be dope, man. She got a lot of shit up her sleeve, man. And like I say, man, congratulations on everything she got, and like I say, I appreciate her for everything she did for me. You know what I'm saying?
So what would you say working with her did for your career?
Um, Showed me just to keep pushing, man, and work hard, man, because there's plenty of times I was like, man, I don't give a fuck about this shit. I'm wasting my money in this shit, man. I could be doing other shit. I could be whoopty whoop, blase spleet. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say what I could be doing, but you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of different shit I could have been doing with my motherfucking money, but she really kept the nigga focused at that time. And I don't think, without her at that period, at that point in time, man, I would have still be doing music though. You know what I'm saying? She pushed the nigga for real.
Okay, so what's the reason behind y'all, splitting ways eventually? She doing stuff with Icewear Vezo. I'm pretty sure you probably under new management or whatever.
Yeah, well, at the time it was at the time her and Vez was taking off like crazy. I ain't gonna even cap. Like
Oh, so she had Vez.
she Vez came on and she started doing the shit with Vez, and Vez just like started heating up. I think he was doing
Mm-hmm.
damn, he did a CD with DJ BJ before he got locked up
Mm.
at one point in time. Ice fuck what was the name of that CD. Anyway, DJ BJ had hosted the CD at that time, whatever. But anyway, Chanel started managing him, and they had like they shit was crazy. Like, and I felt like it wasn't nothing to do with her. She did everything she wanted. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with her. You know what I'm saying? For the record. And I felt that they shit was going so hard, like I wanted to step out the way. Like I was
Yeah,
in the way. That's how I felt. Like I was in the way. You
yeah.
feel what I'm saying? So I stepped out the way, man, and Chanel and Vez did their thing, man. I'm glad that I did that, man, because at the end of the day, look at what the fuck going on.
Yeah,
Look at
being a
that shit.
team player,
Hell
man.
yeah. You
Shoot,
know what I'm saying?
sometimes it takes for you to step
Yeah.
back for y'all to
I
take
ain't
a
I
step
and listen,
forward.
I want them niggas like if I know I'm in the way, shit, I'm in the way. Like,
Yeah,
period. For real, for real.
yeah. Okay, so slapping the mixtape.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you did the remix with Bodie James and Icewear Vezo.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Bodie for a second. Bodie is another one that's been around a long time and has put a
Yeah,
lot of work in
yeah.
for the culture. What do you think he doesn't get the? Why do you think he doesn't get the recognition as some of the others though?
It's crazy because the hip hop world love Bodie. The
Yeah, for
streets
sure.
love Bodie. You feel what I'm saying? I went to school with the Cooley with Bodie. You feel what I'm saying? My ninth grade year when I went to school with him. So I knew Bodie from the hood. Like Bodie, a good nigga, a real nigga, man, about his business. And that motherfucker can rap his motherfucking ass off. So you know how that shit go. Like certain crowds might not know music or the music might
The
not be
Big
for them.
Sean's
You know what
and
I'm saying?
the what they call the backpack rap.
Yeah, or whatever the fuck they want to call him. But
Yeah.
that nigga right there is nice. Boy, that nigga Bodie is nice.
And I wanted to backtrack a little bit. You
Huh?
had brought up Big Sean earlier.
Yeah.
Now a lot of people say, where was Big Sean? We ain't never seen him. We ain't never seen that.
Man,
And you
listen.
clearly just said, y'all used to be in there
Listen,
together
I don't I'm
grinding.
listen. Back in them days when we was doing all the clubs and shit and the open mics and all that shit, I seen Big Sean there.
Mm-hmm.
Big Sean was there. You know what I'm saying? Now later on, like once he got on with Kanye and he was gone, I didn't see Big Sean a lot. But when I was rapping and doing open mics and doing all the shows at the club and shit, Big Sean was always there. And even then, like they wasn't feeling that type of music, but that don't mean it wasn't good. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Certain music is for certain people. Who like it, gonna like it. Who don't like it, don't like it. That's cool. It's people that don't like my music. I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? It's trillions of motherfuckers in the world. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Detroit, we like that certain sound. We stick to the street rap
Yeah, yeah,
stuff that people want to call relatable. I say, stuff being relatable to what's going on in everybody everyday life.
yeah,
Big Sean, he not necessarily rapping about that in that type of way, but he still is touching on it. And he
yeah,
rep for the city
yeah. He
hard,
do. He
man.
rap for the city
He do
hard,
a lot. He do a hell of a lot,
and
man.
that
So
nigga can rap. I
yeah,
don't give a fuck what nobody say. That nigga can rap and he
yeah, his
make good
accolades
music.
crazy,
Crazy,
man. You
crazy
feel me?
accolades,
He got
and
crazy
that nigga
accolades.
make good music, man. Good fucking music, man. I fuck with Big Sean. Shout out to Big Sean.
Yeah. In 2016, you released the EP called Accolades.
Yeah.
But I want to fast forward a little bit later into the year.
Uh huh.
You dropped another single, another big single for your career called Do It for the Ghetto featuring Dre Butters.
Right.
If anyone pays attention to you, they'll know you and Butters work together a lot. And it
Yeah.
seemed like y'all built a great personal relationship.
Yeah.
How did y'all meet and what's the vibes like when y'all link up to work?
I met Dre Butters through my homeboy Prevail from Collective Studios. One day I was in there recording. I was recording 5 Mile. That's when
Mm,
I met Dre Butters, and I was recording 5 Mile.
yeah.
And Prevail was like, "Hey, look, you need to meet him. This nigga cold. Blah blah split whoop whoop." Veil word was good. I said, "This what it is." I met Butters, nigga. Here you go again. This what I need. Let's make it happen. You feel what I'm saying? And ever since then, me and Butters became brothers. It wasn't no money thing at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? When me and Butters link up, it's fun. Red cups, few chicks in the studio, a vibe, and we make the records. We do it. We good. Me and that nigga is very good at what we do.
Yeah, for sure.
Me and that nigga is very good at what we do.
Yeah, y'all make good
And that's my
music.
brother. That's my brother right there. I ain't gonna lie. I love that nigga to death.
Okay, and in that year, you also released Do It for the Ghetto, the project, which features some heavyweight features like Kevin Gates,
Yeah,
Royce the 5'9", and the
yeah,
late great Nipsey Hussle.
yeah.
Those some big features at that point, at your career. Tell me how those features were put in the works.
With Kevin Gates, I fucked with Kevin Gates music. So my homeboy LaRon worked for Atlantic Records, and he just had a personal relationship with Kevin Gates. He reached out to him with the whoop. Kevin Gates say, "Look, I'm gonna be here in Detroit at such time." I was like, "Bet." Do you know where we recorded that motherfucking record at? Where he recorded that verse at?
Where?
In a hotel room. He
Mm,
called us to his hotel room. He went to his hotel room. Nigga broke out a laptop. This is the first time I seen this. At this time, niggas wasn't doing like we could set up like right now we can set up this shit recorded here. Niggas wasn't doing that at this time.
mm-hmm.
He flipped the laptop open. His engineer flipped the laptop open. That nigga set up a mic, nigga, and did that verse right on the spot. You know what I'm saying? And good thing about Kevin Gates is he charged me what he charged me, and he cleared the sample without no money.
Okay, that love.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Every time I see Kevin Gates, is always love. You know what I'm saying? Like respect and everything. And he was the first person that told me like you getting this feature for me to tap into my audience, man. So make sure you do that. Like, this is what this shit is for. This is what you get features for.
Mm-hmm.
Tap into my audience, man, and make this shit work for you. You know what I'm saying? And I respected that. I
Yeah, it seemed
respected
like
that.
he touched a lot of people that he come
Yeah.
in contact with. It ain't too many people that probably meet him and have something bad to say about
No,
him.
facts, facts,
Yeah,
facts,
so
facts.
okay, so Royce the 5'9".
Yep. Royce the 5'9", that's my big brother right there. Royce another person that I ain't never had to call and ask twice. You know what I'm saying? It's one phone call. I need this done, and he get it done. And Royce is like, as we know, a legend, a
Yeah, for
super
sure.
legend. You know what I'm saying? Royce can wrap circles around niggas, and a lot of people don't know. Like Royce is such a humble, good nigga, man. Like
Hmm.
people might have a certain stigma they think about him, but that ain't what it is. That nigga Royce a great nigga, man. And he'd do anything in this city for anybody. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
show a lot of love,
A
man.
lot.
Even to this day, I see him going live, giving everybody opportunity to come
Hell
up there
yeah.
and rap all the time, man.
Hell
So he
yeah.
do that pretty much every day.
Royce a great nigga, man.
Yeah,
Royce a
yeah,
great
yeah.
nigga,
So
man.
he been
Love
looking out for a
Royce.
long time, even as part of bridging that gap between the two scenes, the street scene and what they want to call the backpack rap.
Yeah.
He been trying to bridge that gap and everything,
Yep.
sticking his neck out,
Yeah,
taking
all
some
that. No,
scrutiny,
taking some
all of
hit.
that.
Yeah,
So,
all that. All that.
but I respect it for sure, for sure.
Yep. I love Royce, man. That's my brother, man. Shout out to Royce.
Yep. And Nipsey Hussle, that's something I wanted to really talk to you about.
Okay.
That's kind of crazy to me,
Shit,
man. Nipsey Hussle,
it's
man.
crazy to me. Shit, it's crazy to me. Well, this shit crazy because how this happened is now this wasn't even posed to happen like this.
Mm-hmm.
So how this happened is I was at Atlantic Studio in Atlanta, at Atlanta Record Studio. That everybody recorded that shit, and I remember I was down there with Dusty. Dusty was recording the Evergreen album. I remember walking through the little part, the little lounge area part, and I seen Lauren London.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knew at that time I was in love with Lauren London. No disrespect to Nip or Lauren and none of that. Everybody knew at this time I was in love with Lauren London. So I'm like, damn, nigga, I can't believe I just seen Lauren London. So I turned around and said, fuck that, I gotta go speak. I turned around and go speak. I see her sitting with Nipsey. I was like, what the fuck? Nipsey in this bitch too at this time. So I'm like, damn. So I'm like, oh, this nigga talking to Lauren London. What the fuck? Whatever, I just speak. So I said, fuck it, man. I want to meet Nip. So my homeboy Thomas and shit, my homeboy Thomas Tucker and shit, he ended up introducing me to Nip. I told Nip I fuck with his music, whoopty whoop, blah blah split, man. I want to do some work with him. She said, let Thomas know what we gotta do. We get, make it happen. Took me about maybe 2 months to think of the record I want. So I remember the nigga Helliver had a record that Future he did for Future.
Hell of a again.
Helliver had a record he did for Future. I said, hell man, this is the beat. Hell, please, like, please, I need this beat. Helliver took the beat from Future at this time and gave me the beat so I can use for Nipsey.
Mm-hmm.
Sent the record. A week rolled by. I'm like, damn, I ain't get the verse. 2 weeks rolled by. Damn, I ain't get the verse. 3 weeks rolled by. Damn, I ain't get the verse. I said, man, I ain't getting this verse from Nipsey, dog. It's over. One day it was like 3 in the morning. Thomas sent the email to my motherfucking verse. He was like, yeah, the acapella and the record was in that bitch. Nipsey sent the verse. I'm like, damn, I got that bitch. So boom. I'm like, what I got to do to get this bitch cleared? The nigga end up clearing the bitch for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Cleared the record. Got that bitch popping. I seen him. He came here probably earlier that year, whatever year that he got killed. He came here early that year. It was cold. I remember because we had on coats and
That
shit.
was when he came. He linked up with GT and
Yeah,
Pay and all of
and
them.
Jay Will and all that. He came to the villa on
Okay, yeah.
Greenfield and
Yep.
shit. And I told him I want to do the record. I want to come out there and do it on my birthday in July. He said, you know what, we can do it. Let all this marathon shit roll down because that's when marathon was out. He said, let all this shit die down, whoopty whoop. We gonna make it happen. And unfortunately, he got killed March 31st, I think it was that he got killed. And unfortunately, it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? But Nip was another dude. He was solid.
Yeah.
He respected niggas' grind, and he was another person that was pushing forward the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I respect him. He taught a lot of game too, like to
I got
everybody.
a I got a lot of respect for Nip, man. Like I done had Nip as my wallpaper for years, bro. People don't get it, man. When they say he a legend, they think just because he passed it was that.
Yeah,
But bro, if you really listen to his music, tapped into his whole movement and his brand and what he was doing, man, like it was like, second to none, man.
yeah, nah.
Nipsey was so different,
One
bro.
of
He
a
had a
kind.
lot to offer to the world. He gave a lot still, but I still feel like he had a lot to offer.
Yeah.
So that was sad to hear that news,
No, for
man.
real, for real.
For good people out there like, yourself and somebody I would say like me, I feel like, man, if it can happen to him, it can happen to me.
It can happen to anybody.
Yeah,
That shit
so
fucked up, man. But he made me realize though that yo, the people you left behind, man, don't really love you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like your hood, I felt like that make it feel like your hood ain't got no love for you, dog. That shit
right.
happened in your own hood, bro. Like that shit is crazy. Like that shit, that shit really gave me anxiety yesterday, dog. I already had like anxiety just being around motherfuckers I don't know because I feel like I'm so vulnerable. Like anywhere I go, I don't know if a nigga trying to if he want to shake my hand,
You don't
what's up? I
know if you're a
fuck with you, or a
supporter or
nigga,
if you're an
or
enemy.
if a nigga on that. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I ain't got no enemies, but nigga, that hater turn niggas like
Yeah, to turn a nigga to the enemy, you
you
feel
feel
me?
what I'm saying?
And you
So
don't know where it's coming from. You just living
man,
your everyday life. You don't know these people, they walking up to you, grimming you at the gas station.
bro,
You don't know if they want a picture, if
on some
they just
bullshit.
mad you to mess with one of their girls or something.
Anything,
You ain't respond
anything,
back to their DM.
anything, man. So yeah, I got a lot of anxiety after that shit happened, dog. Cause I'm like, dog, y'all let this shit happen to Nipsey, bro.
Yeah,
Like, god damn, that shit crazy. Yeah, man. So rest in peace, Nip, though,
yeah,
man.
long live Nip. All right, I want to fast forward again to 2019 when you were part of one of the biggest songs to ever come out of Michigan. We Up with DJ BJ, G Baby, Dre Butters, and Brian Hamilton.
Uh huh.
I mean, this record was ringing off heavy in the streets, the radio, and almost anywhere else you could think of. How did that record come together? And did y'all know it was gonna be go as crazy as it did?
Now this one record I knew.
Yeah.
I knew. Now me and Butters did this shit. We did this record. We did this record on somebody's birthday. I forgot who birthday it was. But anyway, me and Butters was the only people that was on it. It was originally me and Butters song. So I said, you know what, dog, we gotta send this to DJ BJ. We gonna make this we gonna have DJ BJ push this as a single. But we need it's missing something. So at the time, BJ had signed G Baby to his record label, and then we got B Ryan on there or whatever too. So I sent it to BJ email after that bitch was done. BJ let that bitch sit in his email probably about 4 months.
Mm.
4 months he let that bitch sit in his email. So I said, damn, did you ever listen to that record? He said, yeah, I listened to it. It was straight whoopty whoop. I was like, all right, whatever. Left it alone. One day that nigga called me like, dog, this record is crazy, nigga. Whoopty whoop, like split. So I'm like, nigga, that's your record, nigga. Push it as your single. Let's go up. So we all decided to drop it Memorial Day weekend, 2019, and that bitch went ham.
Memorial Day weekend, hell yeah, that's a good
That
promo rollout.
that
Everybody out partying.
bitch went ham, dog. I'm talking about, nigga. I don't give a fuck what club that bitch came on in, nigga. Everybody reporting to the motherfucking dance floor. Ballrooming they motherfucking ass off till they motherfucking feet hurt.
Yeah, it was a different vibe too from the regular Detroit sound.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
brought a
so
whole different energy to the city. I ain't gonna
yeah,
lie, that bitch brought a whole different energy
and
to the city.
everybody was rocking with it. Like even
Everybody
even the
loved that
street
record.
dudes, everybody was rocking with it.
Man, they love that fucking record, dog. They love that fucking record, man.
Yeah. So are y'all working on new music together? I know I seen, DJ BJ, he had his differences, his feelings on, certain other people that
Yeah,
was involved in the record. But is
yeah.
it any way y'all can
Um,
get some new
my
music to
thing
them?
is, my thing is, niggas just gotta sit down and have a talk. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain shit that just don't fly with me. You know what I'm saying? And shit you do like when niggas so solid to other niggas, man, and you play it like niggas ain't solid to you, and then you putting this shit to everybody and putting it in his ear like something we doing wrong, nigga. We ain't never had nothing but our best interest for you and shit, nigga. Like that type of shit lame. I don't fuck with that shit. So I don't know. Niggas just gotta sit down and have face to face talk, nigga, as men. You feel what I'm saying? Whenever dog ready to sit down and have a face to face talk with niggas as a man and hold accountability for the whole shit you been saying and shit like that, then, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the shit we did previously and in the past, you know what I'm saying, it's classic. You can't take nothing away from
Right.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
accountability, man. People gonna mess up, bro. Like people gonna mess up.
And
They
that's
make mistakes, even the real ones. You feel me? It's all about how you make it right,
And
though.
that's fine, dog. And that's fine with it, dog. Just hold accountability. Like, bro, you got to admit when you on whole shit. I can say, I'm wrong. That was wrong. Okay, you say so what's the situation? all right, cool, I'm wrong. You right. But if you ain't gonna take no accountability for what the fuck you did, then we ain't gonna get nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I want to switch lanes a little bit. I want to get into your acting career.
Okay.
Right now, shoot, you as big as they come out of this motherfucker right now. So your first introduction into the acting role, 211.
Yeah,
Talk to me
211.
about that. Who was all in that?
211, Cash Down Murder, Tell, Shorty Rich, Shamar Avery. There was a lot of us in that, man. And Moolah Films, the people that's doing the movies now, I don't know if you're familiar with T. Thomas, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm for sure.
They was doing videos, like for me, Streets of Us, Pay, and all them, and they was doing movie style videos, you know what I'm saying, like storyline videos.
Yeah.
So after they got tired of videos, they got into the movies and shit, and they started calling us to come cameo and shit. So that's how I got in 211. You know what I'm saying? It was a little small little role with a little ass gun and shit like that. But niggas remembered that shit. That shit was a split second.
Yeah.
But I was like, niggas all over everywhere do that shit. You feel what I'm saying? I was like, oh, that was cool. I still wasn't sold yet on the movie
Yeah.
shit, but I was like, oh, that's cool. You know what
Did
I'm saying?
you did you like on set? Like, so what was the vibes like? Was you excited or you was just like, all right, I'm just here to do this?
I mean,
It's gonna come out. Did you know it was gonna be a classic?
well, I take that back. 211 wasn't the first thing. It was Concrete. You remember
Concrete.
Concrete?
Okay, I remember that.
We was in Concrete, but something happened where they couldn't get everybody on same accord, so they didn't drop Concrete. But that was my first role. I still wasn't sold on the movie shit. I'm like, movies, like nigga, how the fuck we gonna drop a
Yeah.
movie in this shit? You know what I'm saying? But I still wasn't sold on it. It wasn't until the next time that they came and got me, and I was like, oh, hold on, this shit might work. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, this shit might work. Yeah.
Now 211, that was big, but your next appearance in the acting role, Buffed Up. This
Yeah.
undoubtedly a classic for sure.
Super
I got
classic.
shout outs on The Breakfast Club by
Yeah.
Angela Yee.
Yeah.
Plenty of people, talk about this movie still to this day.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that right there.
I think that Buffed Up, I think what made Buffed Up so classic, for one, it was funny as shit. That's
Mm-hmm.
for one. And I don't think that people understood how serious them glasses was. And I think that really was very intriguing to people. Like, damn, y'all really go crazy over glasses like that? They didn't know
Yeah.
that shit was a real thing. Like, yeah, that's a real fucking thing. So I think on top of it being funny as hell, and they seeing that we go crazy over these Buffalo Cartiers like that, it made it so big, and they love that movie, dog. That's
Yeah.
one of the first movies they always talk about is Buffed
For
Up.
sure.
They love that
All
movie
everywhere, man. They
everywhere.
was talking about that. How did y'all end up distributing that?
We
Was it
did
just
that
through
one.
YouTube or how was it?
No, we
It
was
was
doing
DVDs.
DVDs. We was doing
Okay,
DVDs
yeah,
at that
yeah.
time. We sold like 5,000 DVD copies. Niggas was bootlegging the shit, and oh man, that shit got fucking crazy. But
And y'all shot that. A lot of people don't well, I think a lot of people do know, but
mhm.
some people might not know. That wasn't even shot really. A lot of it wasn't even in Detroit. It was an
No, it was all the
E-course.
E-course. Yeah, it was in
Yeah,
the
it was
E-course
okay.
projects. Yeah, they was shot in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
E-course
yeah.
projects. Yeah,
So
E-course
how
project.
did that happen? How did y'all was like, okay, we gonna go to
Well,
E-course downriver?
Thomas from E-course downriver and shit,
Yeah.
and somehow he just was like, nigga, that's what we gonna shoot today. It's just nigga, we shooting that bitch in the projects, and at that time it was the projects was going hard at that time too. I ain't gonna lie, it was all
Yeah.
kind of shit going on through the projects around that bitch at that time, man. And I think Banjana G, he was in there. He made sure everything
Yeah.
was straight while we was out there, man, doing that shit, man. Shout out to him. And Equal showed a lot of love, dog. They was real
Yeah.
receptive to everything that was going on with that film, man. So we appreciate that though. But that shit was fun, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Buffed Up
Yeah.
was fun as hell.
Yeah. That was, man.
Yeah.
It's a classic, like I said. And your next appearance, 5-0.
Yeah, that's when I got serious. Like, I'm gonna take it a little serious. I'm a little now I'm believing it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? They gave me a little better role, whoopie whoop. And that's when I was like, all right, I believe this shit a little bit, nigga. What's up, nigga? Now it's time for me to get in this bitch for real. Nigga, I need a real role, nigga. What's up?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like what's up with it?
And then on Plug Love, that was another big one.
Yeah.
It was a big one. You, Murder Pain,
Yeah.
Thomas, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
too.
Jessica Ryan, she was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Nunu Thurman. Now with Plug Love, that was one of those things I told that nigga T, like, all right, it's time for me to get a main role now. And that's how that happened. I told him, nigga, I'm serious. Let's do it. You feel what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That probably was the breakout movie right there where niggas was like, oh, these niggas serious. These niggas serious now. Because we took a chance on a love story type of
Yeah,
thing. You know what I'm saying? And once niggas seen that bitch, they was like, oh, yeah, these boys serious. Nah, I ain't going to even lie. And we
yeah.
still was, I ain't going to say we was bullshitting, but we still wasn't taking the proper steps to be great actors. We still
Mm-hmm.
was just reading scripts and going in there acting. We wasn't really knowing what was the intent behind the lines we was delivering, knowing why we were saying and shit. But I mean, we got that shit across though.
What was your preparation like? Different from the first few gigs you had. Like, what was your preparation? Did you take it more serious? Or?
I took it more serious as far as being on time and getting there, getting the shit taken care of. But I really ain't had no preparation. Nigga. I just threw clothes on and went in that bitch and did that shit. I ain't gonna even lie. I mean, that shit was just easy. I was already just a smooth nigga. I could dress. I had my way with words for females and shit. So that shit was easy for real. I just did that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
And you was working with Murder.
Yeah,
We gonna get into McGraw Ave
yeah.
in a second here, but what was he like early on? Did you know he was gonna
Man, listen.
blow up like that? Y'all all do your thing, but Murder, they love Murder,
Listen,
man.
I had two favorite actors. It was 40 and motherfucking 5K1. And then when I first seen Murder at 211, when I first see Murder act, well, I see Murder act in different videos and shit, and I
Mm-hmm.
fucked with him. But I was like, them two niggas my favorite actors. So actually, when I knew I was gonna act on Side of Murder in motherfucking Plug Love, I was like, damn, nigga, I gotta get my shit together. But once he told me like, nigga, this shit ain't shit, nigga, let's do it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We just knocked that shit out. You know what I'm saying? We knocked that shit out. And that shit, I think one of the biggest movies we did to date still.
Yeah, and after that, y'all started pressing for real. You came with Birthday
Yeah,
Behavior.
yeah, I had to switch my role, be a soft nigga on that bitch. And I was with all the ladies and shit, but I did my thing and held the fuck down on there though.
Okay, and then this one right here, I'm assuming it's one of your favorites, The Mule
Yeah, the Mule. Now it's
with Comic
crazy.
J. Will,
Yeah,
right?
me and Jay Will. So the Mule probably was one of my films where I said, man, fuck this acting shit. Because this was the film where they was on our ass, like, okay, it's time to quit bullshitting because we not about to get exposed that niggas can't act for real. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So this one we took it serious. Thomas started directing this motherfucking ass off. He told us what the fuck we need to do to get this shit done and make this shit believable. I think that the Mule just had got overshadowed because we dropped it in the pandemic
Yeah.
and we dropped McGraw Ave right after that shit. So it had just got overshadowed. But far as my favorite film that I did, The Mule is one of my favorite film, and it was one of the most challenging roles I did, and it was one of the roles that made me want to say fuck this acting shit, nigga. I'm straight.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it
Comic
was
J.
tough,
Will was acting an ass in that
man.
movie, man.
It was so hard to act alongside of this nigga, man, because this nigga's an idiot, man. In real fucking life, a funny motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying?
Why did it take y'all so long to get that package all the way over?
Man, dog, that shit right there, dog. So funny, but we gon' I think they writing part two to that shit too, though,
Oh
right now.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah. Okay, I want
yeah,
to see that.
yeah.
Okay, after that, y'all had McGraw Ave. Y'all got McGraw Ave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That took y'all to a whole nother level. Y'all got like cosigns from Shaq.
yeah,
Pretty sure a bunch of other people.
yeah.
How did that even come about? Y'all switched from the movies. Y'all started going into the TV shows.
What
Releasing them pretty
what
much independently, right?
Yeah, well, I think that the series started getting big around this time, like different shows like Narcos, Powers,
Mm-hmm.
and Breaking Bad. I mean, just a lot of different shit was. Even though Breaking Bad was old, but a lot of this different kind of shit is coming on Netflix and all that type of shit. So we like, damn, a series would be dope. You know what I'm saying? And they got more longevity. Like you can push them bitches as long as you want.
Yeah.
So we tried that bitch. We shot that in 2017. We finished that probably 2019, and we dropped it in the pandemic 2020. We dropped it on Vimeo. People don't know. Everybody was talking shit about this $5, but we dropped the shit on Vimeo first. It was first dropped on Vimeo. When we dropped season one, it was on Vimeo.
Mm-hmm.
But these cheap motherfuckers didn't get on the shit until it was free on Tubi. You feel what I'm saying? So that's how
Yeah.
they caught wind of it. So when we dropped season two, everybody was mad thinking that we put it on Vimeo for $5 trying to get over and shit. But niggas don't understand we independent. This shit coming out of our own pocket.
Yeah. It's
Like
a
what y'all
lot.
don't want us to do. Y'all don't want us to get our money back. Like, you know what I'm saying? So You know, people
So
people being people. That's
it
just
was
how I go.
it was a long gap in between season one and season two. A lot of people was on y'all head about it. What was going on, that pushed it back so far,
You
if you
know
could
why it
spill it.
was a big ass gap?
Why?
Because we was gonna scrap season one. Season one was about to be scrapped. We
Mm.
had to talk. Me, Murder, Shorty, T is Moolah for him. Thomas. We said, bro, it's the pandemic. We ain't got shit on. Let's just drop this bitch. So our stupid asses dropped it without having the second season even done, even thought of,
Mm.
and that bitch blew up. So by being a pandemic, we couldn't do nothing in the pandemic because the world was shut down. So when 2021 started and we could, that's when we started doing it. That's when we got it to niggas the end of 2022. You know what I'm saying? It took time to get that shit done. Schedules conflicting and rain and just different kind of shit was going on though. But we got it to niggas and that shit was heat.
So season two, and it came, people done wrapped up. Most people done probably seen it already. What you say if the feedback is? You think it lived up to everybody's
Hell
expectations?
yeah. That's what I mean. I was just hoping niggas was gonna love that shit, man. But they love. See, did you watch all 6 episodes yet?
I did, and I ain't
You
made
seen
time, but
first you seen the first season though.
I got to the first episode. Yeah, I ended up
Okay.
buying the first episode.
Okay.
I got to it.
Man,
But then
listen.
anytime I try to get on because I think y'all ended up getting it on
Tubi,
Tubi.
yeah.
And when I did try to get on Tubi, like my screen will be black.
It'll just roll and shit like that. But
Yeah,
it's
like
on Prime too, so you can watch it on Prime
Prime.
too. Yeah, Amazon
Okay,
Prime
okay,
too.
I'm gonna
So
do that. I'm gonna do
but
that.
yeah, it definitely lived up to the expectation, man. Niggas loved it and they already talking about season 3. Like, nigga, give us time. Like, god damn, we need some
Yeah.
time to get that bitch out. You feel what I'm saying? But season 2, crazy. Niggas loved it, man. We want to thank everybody for the support for that too, man. And season 3 definitely coming. It's definitely heat. And it's about to turn up. A lot of messy shit going on. A lot of unresolved issues. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So that kind of stamp y'all as like superstars in the
Yeah.
acting world, for what we doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, how has it been since then? How has life changed and y'all
Man,
going places? Is it getting crazy?
that shit too crazy, man.
People
I
out there
can't
calling
go
you Luger.
I can't go nowhere. I can't go nowhere. Nowhere. I ain't gonna even lie, I can't go nowhere without a nigga talking about that McGraw ass. Like, it's a beautiful thing. I just love that I could portray a character and niggas really fuck with it. That's just was still mind blowing to me. Like, I get on TV, portray a nigga that ain't me, and niggas love it.
Yeah.
That shit just give me some kind of just like damn. That shit is, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with it.
Yeah. All right, man. We about to wrap up. Before we went out, man, I just wanted to tell you, bro. I reached out to you and a few other people, but like I was telling you before, I reached out to people that I respect, Even
Facts.
if I ain't met you before, man, I watch you. That's my job, I gotta
Yeah.
watch people's story every day. So I watch how you move and I listen to something you say you be giving me game. Anybody else who come encounter with you and stuff like that. So I respect that a lot, man. You ain't trying to steer us in the wrong direction.
Nah, hell no.
So I got a lot of respect for you, man. Meeting you
Appreciate it,
has
brother.
been a vibe, bro.
Appreciate it,
So
man. Thank
I lived up to my expectations,
you.
man.
Yeah, thank
I'm
you.
proud of you, bro. You already told me you was proud of me,
Yeah,
man.
for sure. I am, man.
Everything you doing. So before we get out of here, though, what y'all got going on? What you got going on for 2023?
With 2023, we got a series called H Block. It's a spinoff to McGraw Ave. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, about how Luger came up and got to where he is right now. We about to do part 2 to the Christmas movie, A Very Merry Hood Christmas. We doing part 2 to that, and then we rolling over to season 3, man, getting it done for the fans, man, and get this motherfucker out of here. And I'm writing music for artists. Got a production company, me and Dre Butter. So we write music for artists, doing production, and I'm working on this documentary for my son, documenting his journey to basketball, to his high school career, and see where that's going, man. And I'm just being a father, man. Just enjoying the process, for real, for real.
It was one thing else I wanted to talk to you about, your businesses and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What other things you do outside of the acting and the music? What other stuff that people might not be aware of
Well,
as
right,
far as your business?
well, right now we got the soul food restaurant Lily Mae. So y'all make sure y'all come
Mm-hmm.
check that out. 29221 Northwestern Highway. We got all kind of soul food, man. The best soul food around. Y'all make sure y'all come check that out. Saturdays we do a brunch
Yeah.
from 11 to 6. Man, we got a DJ brunch, beautiful women, um, a host of women, all that, man. So make sure y'all come check that out. Um, Also, right now I'm working on my nonprofit, getting that back going and stuff. For youth from 8 to 17 years old. We're gonna talk about different stuff like diets, your health, sexual
Mm-hmm.
education, how to make money. You know what I'm saying? Real estate, just different kind of stuff, man. Because one thing about it, me coming from where I come from, my hood, you got to be able to show these young kids that shit out here is obtainable, that
Yeah.
it can be done. You feel what I'm saying? It can
Yeah, they
definitely be
want to
done.
see it to
Yeah,
believe it for sure.
yeah. You gotta definitely know it can be done, man. So that's my goal, to let these kids know that this can happen.
All right, man. It's been nice talking to you, bro. Let the people know where they can find you at and keep up with everything you got going on.
Yeah, y'all can find me on Instagram, Sino313. That's also my YouTube page, man. Y'all make sure y'all go follow my soul food restaurant, Lily Mae Southern Buffet. And y'all make sure y'all keep y'all eye open and stay tuned for McGraw Ave season 3, man. McGraw Ave H Block. It's on the flow, man. Y'all make sure y'all go on Tubi, type in Moolah Films, or go on Amazon Prime, type in Moolah Films. Go watch all our movies, man. And appreciate all the support from everybody.
Five, I appreciate you,
And I
bro.
appreciate you, man. Shout
Hell
out to the
yeah,
Detroit
man.
discussion. You know what time it is.
Let's get it.